There's my new costume set. Good. The black safety pin. Dun, dun, dun. So, we'll have scenes like these in the Billy Liar remake. He'll have music videos of him saying, "It's not that I'm obsessive, it's just that I've got a million hands to play." And he'll be working with a knife the whole time. He'll be dancing with a knife. And this will be especially threatening to all the higher ups. So we could do that for the shock value. It's got the potential to stop hearts all across the USA. All across the USA. Those aren't the droids you're looking for. Those aren't the droids you're looking for. Go to hell, South Dakota. Go to hell. Go to hell, South Dakota. Go to hell. So I think I got the right coordinates. Okay, so that was okay. Oh, evidently there are a lot of murders around here right now. So I used to think that there was an actual expression. The things people take for granted. And there's a little bit of granite stone used in the construction of this place. I guess it carries the voices of the dead. Granite does. It's a conduit to another dimension. And in granite, it's a really very hard stone, and you know it weathers slow and all that. So it's as though it you know, it's might even be a more fitting saying, really. And I think I did explain this to one of my handlers. They were sleep depriving me. They were, you know, I asked, you know, how long is this going to take? And they said, well, it's going to take as long as it's going to take. So I was just previewing all these future events, you know. And you know, they're shrugging their shoulders half the time, like, yeah, we're gonna have stuff like that. Yeah, you know. They already knew. They already knew. I remember, I mean, at the age of 7, they were talking about all this stuff that they would have. And sure enough, we have it today, you know. Sure enough. Everything's so individualized, it can be, you know, this customized stuff. Anything's possible, you know. Anything. You could be a superhero or a supervillain. I have to admit that I'm a bit of a villain. In a sort of kind of way. just try to raise awareness. So they've stopped trying to persuade me of the darkest possibilities with myself and Dania. Yeah, we would, I suppose, have to take quite a number of steps, walk miles, perhaps, in a particular direction that is as yet unrevealed to me. So, and I believe there's an actual reality to all that I did examine, and there are real possibilities there for this very outlandish happenings to occur. Certainly, but I don't think that's certainly not what we'll do. And so instead, what they've tried to do is shame me. They have their little myopic worldview, and everything peripheral to it they discount as being meaningless and having no value whatsoever. This is pretty, it's pretty common, for all kinds of people. They essentially take the same stance, So they have their own peculiar aesthetic, and they're attached to all this stuff that I view as clutter, and we're all part of this world, and anyway, they had me, I don't know, I seem to be viewing a real, actual, possible little future scene, whereas it turns out one of my daughters is revealed to be a lesbian, or, well, I guess she tried to find a man that she really liked, but then the problem was, I suppose, that she in her early years, she imprinted on me. She got her ideas for how a man ought to be from her relationship with me. Me bringing her up, and men like me are so rare, and we usually die young, or in some cases we. Nowadays, I suppose, in some cases, we become women. So, I guess she, kept expecting, she'd find a man who was, very, I don't know, had a certain type of sensitivity, or at times anyway, and yeah, I'd like to be more of a, I think back in my early 20s, I was taking this supplement. It was just a lot of natural substances and support the endocrine system and some different things. And I certainly, ran into some trouble from my enemies, in terms of their chemical assaults on my person. And so that was really helpful, and then
then these black ops people, you know, and part of their little you know, self-destructive programming, you know, they got me to stop taking that supplement, and just kind of adopted a lot of poor mental and social habits, and it's been a real struggle, you know. Since then, you know, I was really on my way to recovery, but then I joined the Marine Corps, and you know, and that was quite a tumble, you know, quite a tumble downhill, you know. So anyway, I mean, you know, in the military, you end up associating with some of the most heavily traumatized and, you know, broken up people who've had to make all these compromises with their, you know, their the central part of themselves, and so they're. Then you got people who've been to war, and it's as though they, after all that killing, you know, they can't, they really can't believe in karma anymore. And if they ever did, and then, you know, so war's a major problem, and all its effects, they ripple out and just cause all the mass of society, you know. I guess, you know, war reacquaints us with the deeper, denser, baser values, you know, and that you know, I suppose that is actually, I mean, it's just part of the fabric, you know, of the matrix. So, but we can operate at a higher level, is all I'm saying. You know, it's a process, friends. It really, truly is a process. Anyway, I want to get back into some of my older habits, you know, that were beneficial to me, and I know that's going to help. You know, I like you, Donnie, you know, and I'd like to meet with you, you know. Sure, you know, as part of my investigation into this whole subject matter, this whole phenomenon, but you know, I know that we'll be well met. I know that we're going to be all right, you know. And if somehow I'm wrong about that, well, okay, you know, okay. I'm just coming to the realization that I really I can't waste any more time, you know, doing this kind of thing, and I just can't. I can't do this. I don't know your status. I don't know what's going on. I don't know if you're interested in somebody else. I don't know if you have a boyfriend or even a husband or anything. You know, all this has been. It's as though these visions, you know, from that I would have had in 2008, that would have, you know, really let me know that I should you know, be with you. It's like they were withheld from me, and now they issued them. They issued them, and they were all expired. You know, those were not any longer real possibilities. And The other day I woke up, I was seeing this photograph of another, the other daughter, supposedly, or maybe this was a new daughter because it's a new, time has gone on, and you got different, gene combinations that result from the different celestial happenings, celestial radionics. So, but she was really something, and she seemed to be a blend of you and I. So, yeah, she seemed like a really solid and wise and beautiful woman. I don't know. The photograph was in black and white. I don't know if that was to symbolize something, or her eyes had a real intensity to them. It was interesting, very interesting. Yeah, she wasn't flighty at all. She was very stable. She was kind of a sturdy girl, Anyway, this daughter who's turns out to be a lesbian. I mean, even so, she seemed like she's really cool, though. She's really cool. I think she's a really good person. So she's pretty too. I guess a lot of people would say, they wouldn't have a problem with their son or daughter turning out gay, but still a lot of people, they wouldn't want that, if possible. I have to say that I'm among them. I don't want my offspring to have to deal with potentially being ostracized and being targeted in various ways, and I wouldn't want that, and I'll but there's a limit to what you can do, perhaps, and there certainly is a limit to the control you can exert over anything, and you shouldn't just kind of let nature take its course, in so many things, but you provide a good, stable, safe, secure, environment where they have access to all kinds of educational, resources, and they can play sports or do something artistic, or just really want to provide those things, if you can at all. Let me tell you, I wouldn't, children, need a father, and it wouldn't make any sense at all, for me to, decide all of a sudden, after fathering children, that really I'm a woman, and that's not true. I don't feel like that. I don't feel like that now, and really that's a lot of that programming only runs so deep, and it's only warped my soul only so much. Yes, it is true that I have experienced some gender dysphoria. I've had some gender confusion, but it's, I've recognized that that's not a really deep level thing. It's a compartment of the mind, and I've gone in there and examined everything. It's got a lot of lighting now, and it's and I never intended for people to take my my dancing or my I don't intend for people to take my artwork seriously. It's not. It's just all kind of in fun. It's probably just for special occasions, a lot of it. And no, I don't. I thought, in displaying all that, in exposing all that, it's just an exposition. It's just an exposition of MK Ultra, which is a prominent theme in my videos. So that's what I was doing, and in so doing, I attracted a lot of negative attention. Anybody who had any kind of interest in manipulating me in one direction or another, they came out of the woodwork, and they've been trying to steer me and manipulate me for profit. That's the chief motivator. So, I think, for now, I'm just going to let all that stand. For now, I'm going to let it all stand. I mean, because there's a lot of unexamined issues out there, and I thought that what I was doing had some kind of relevance, had some kind of, there was a value in putting up an example of that, and it's not an example to follow, it's just an example of something. It's a point of reference, and I think that has some value. Though, I could see taking a lot of what I've done down and maybe repackaging it and maybe making a documentary or two about, it's just a matter of the right treatment, applied to everything, and it's about doing a more professional job ultimately, and that might have some value. Or I could sell it off, as, it could be part of a larger, a more expansive documentary that somebody makes one day, possibly. I could see that. That would be acceptable to me. So, anyway, we'll see. I need to have a real life. That's the thing. I need to have a real life. And I've seen all kinds of possibilities, examined different possibilities, and but I found some of these other paths, kind of lacking. And I still, I have many hands left to play, no two ways about that. And there are other things I could do. So, but I really want to be with you, Dania, and that seems like what I really. I think I can be the kind of person who I really am, and I could get to experience that, and so please give me a call. Please give me a call. I was looking at those. I was looking at some photographs you put up. And some really, really warm, soft-hearted feelings came over me, and I was just really, you're really, really beautiful, and your family members, they seem like really great people, and I don't know, I'd like to meet them, someday. That would be great. Yeah, that would be great.